Hello and welcome to Setup Phase. In this video, I will be doing a playthrough of Spirit Island base game using the low complexity spirit Shadows Flicker Like Flame. If you want to know more about the rules of the game or the components, you can check out the videos in the description. I have randomly chosen board C to play on. I've already populated the board with the pre-printed Dahan cities and towns. I've shuffled the fear deck. We have 5 blight plus 1. The explorer deck is already been created. We only have to see where the invaders explore first and set up Shadows Flicker Like Flame. The Dahan say, if the long shadows of sunset stretching beside you begin to shift and flicker like tongues of hungry fire, do not run. They will only feed your fear and whet the shadow's appetite. The spirits invoke an instinctive fear in humans, perhaps because it doesn't think at all like humans do. It's more alien-minded than most. Until a few generations ago, the Dahan carefully propitiated it only at a distance, steering as clear as they could. But during the years of the relentless sun, it shaded large swaths of the island, averting catastrophe. Since then, many Dahan have been willing to carefully and cautiously heed its words, feeling they have a debt they ought to try to repay. In order to set up, we need to place 3 presents on the starting board, 2 on the highest numbered jungle and 1 in land 5. The highest numbered jungle will be number 4 and 1 in land 5, which is here in the middle. And the remaining presents goes on the presents tracks. Let's take a look at the cards and at what options do we have. For the cards, we have Mantle of Dread, a slow speed which can target any spirit. It generates 2 fear, and the target spirit may push 1 explorer and 1 city from land where it has presence. We also have Fast Power card with 0 cost. It generates 1 fear, and Dahan take no damage from ravaging invaders this turn. We also have Favors called Dew, a slow power, which allows us to gather up for Dahan, and if the invaders are present and Dahan outnumber the invaders, we get 3 fear. And a 1 energy slow card, Crops Wither and Fade, which generates 2 fear and allows us to either replace 1 city with an explorer or a town with a city. For the special rules of Shadows Flicker Like Flame, whenever you use a power, you may pay 1 energy to target a land with Dahan regardless of the power's range, power cards, or your innate power. Basically, we can pay 1 energy to ignore the range restrictions for the cards. And the innate power, Darkness Swallows the Unwary. It's a fast power. It requires a sacred site and allows us to gather 1 explorer. If we have 3 moon and 2 fire to destroy up to 2 explorers and generate a fear per explorer destroyed, or for 4 moons, 3 fire and 2 air, we deal 3 damage and we generate a fear per invader destroyed. For the first explore, the invaders will explore in the wetlands. And now we are ready to begin with the first turn by taking the growth option. I think I will choose the last one, which allows us to add a presence at range 3 and gain 3 energy. Let's take the 3 energy. And I'm thinking of adding a presence from the cards play track in order to allow us to play 2 cards. But let's see where to add this presence. Okay, I will add the presence here. Next step would be to gain energy, but our energy track is at 0, so we gain no energy, and we can now choose to play power cards. For the first round, I will be playing Mantle of Thread and Favors Called Due. I need to pay 1 energy for each of them. Next, we go into the fast power phase. We have 2 moons and a fire, which means we can do the innate power that allows us to gather 1 explorer. It's a range 1 from a sacred site. Now, this is the sacred site. I'm targeting this land, and I will gather this explorer into this land. With the fast powers done, Invaders act. We do not have a blight card, so we skip the blighted island. We have no fear cards. They don't ravage because they don't have a card here, but they build in the wetlands, which means they build here a city and here nothing because they do not have presence. And they explore in the jungles. They explore here because it's adjacent to a city or a town, and here because it's coastal and adjacent to a city and a town. The invader cards move over, and now we are in the slow phase. Let's start with Mantle of Thread. I forgot the fear. We have 4 fear in the fear pool. We generate 2 fear, and it says the target spirit may push 1 explorer and 1 town from a land where it has presence. I will push them from here into the sands. Next, let's activate Favors Called Due. I will target this land, and it allows us to gather up to 4 Dahan. I will gather just 3 of them, and says that if invaders are present and Dahan now outnumber them 3 to 2, we generate 3 fear. 2 fear go into the fear pool, which generates us a fear card, and then the third one. With this, the slow power phase is done, and now we go into time passes. There's nothing to heal. We discard the played cards, and we move on to the next turn, where we start again with the growth phase. I will be choosing the second growth option, putting a presence at a distance 1. Let's first get the card. I will take a major power card. I will draw 4 major powers, look at them, and choose 1. We need moons. I think Call of the Dahan Ways would be a good idea to take. This card goes into our hand. Now we can add a presence at range 1. Let's add it here. And we can choose to play 2 cards. And we also gain 1 energy from the energy track. There's no ravaging this turn, which means I will be playing these 2 cards. We go into the fast power phase. We have 2 moons and 1 fire. We can do the first innate power. They're going to build in the jungle. Let's target 1 away from a sacred site. Let's target here. And we can gather 1 explorer. We will gather the explorer from this location into the central one. We do not have any fast power cards. We move to the invader phase. No blighted island, but we have earned a fear. We are under level 1, so we will do the level 1 fear benefit, which says that each player removes 1 explorer from a coastal land. This is perfect for us because I can remove the 1 from here. This way they will not build in land 1. The next step is ravage. They don't ravage here because there are no explorers, because there are no invaders, but they do ravage here. The explorer does 1 damage, both to the land and to the Dahan, but the Dahan has 2 health. Since it only does 1 damage to the land, we do not add a blight. And also, after the invaders attacked, the Dahan attack back with a damage of 2, which destroys the invader. Next is the build. They build in the jungles. There's nothing in both jungles, so they don't build anywhere. And they explore in the sands. They explore here and here. This because it's a coastal, here because it has a city. The invader cards move over, and it's time to activate the slow powers. I was hoping that they would go for the mountains, but nevertheless, we can use crops wither and fade. It has a range 0. I will target this land. It generates 2 fear and allows me to replace a city with an explorer. The second slow power is Call of the Dahan. It requires a range 1, and we must target a land with Dahan. This allows us to replace 1 explorer with Dahan, or since we have 2 moons, we may instead replace a city with a Dahan, which I'm going to do. So I will target at range 1. Let's count the range from this presence. Range 1 will be here. It has a Dahan present, which validates the targeting requirements. I have 2 moons. I will replace 1 city with a Dahan. And with this, we have ended the turn. Only time passes remains where this Dahan heals up. We go on to the next turn. In the growth phase, I have only 1 card in hand. I don't really want to do the reclaim just yet. I will do the second growth option in order to get another card. Let's start with the minor power. So draw 4 cards and choose 1 to keep. Well, Lure of the Unknown fits perfectly with what this spirit wants to do. Let's pick that one. Okay, I will be adding a presence. I think I will be adding the presence here. We gain 3 energy and we play the only 2 cards that we can. Let's start with Concealing Shadows. We generate 1 fear. I need to target a land at range 0. And it says that besides the fear, the Dahan take no damage from ravaging invaders. I would like to target this land. And I cannot because it is not at range 0, it is a range 1. But I can use the special rules for Shadows Flicker like Flame to target a land with Dahan regardless of the power's range. So let's pay 1 energy in order to be able to target this land. And the fear goes back to the fear pool. Our second fast power card allows us to gather 1 explorer or a city. but we need to target a land without invaders. They will be ravaging in the jungle. Let's choose this land. It needs to be 2 away from a presence. It's 1 away, which is fine. It doesn't have any invaders. And I will gather this invader here. We also have our fast innate power because we have 2 moons and fire, which allows us to gather 1 explorer at a range 1 from a sacred site. Here's the sacred site. I will choose as a range 1 this site and gather this explorer here so that they do not build there. Oh well. For some reason, I thought they would be ravaging in the sands, but they're building in the sands. So this power didn't need to be used in that location. Let's just say I used it here so that I don't change too much. We're done with the fast power actions. Next come the invader phase. We don't have a blighted island. We generated 1 fear. We are still at terror level 1 and says that each player removes 1 explorer from an inland land. Inland lands are not the ones adjacent to coastal, so everything from here onwards. And we only have explorers here. Let's remove this one. Next is the invader phase. They ravage in the jungles. There's nothing here. They ravage here, but the Hun take no damage from this ravage. And also they only do 1 damage, which is not enough to add a blight. After they attack, the Huns attack back with 2 damage, destroying the invader. They're going to build in the sands. There's nothing here to build. Here, because there are more towns than cities, they will build a city. And let's see where they explore. They explore in the jungles. Here and here because it's coastal. We don't have any slow power phase. Time passes. Invaders and the Han heal. We discard the cards and move on to the next turn. In the next turn, we need to start with the growth phase. I do not have any cards, so I need to choose the first option, reclaim, by taking all the cards in my hand, and I also gain 1 power card. Let's go for another minor, and I think the next one will be a major power card. Draw 4 and choose 1 to keep. Oh, also, I need to move these along. Let's take Visions of Fiery Dew. We gain energy from the presence track, 3 again. And we can play 2 cards. I still want to play Concealing Shadows in order to defend that land. And Crops Wither and Fade. I'll need to pay 1 energy. And we move on to the fast power phase. We have Concealing Shadows. Again, like the last turn, I will need to pay 1 energy in order to target this land. And I also generate 1 fear. Again, the Han take no damage from ravaging this turn. We also have 2 moons and a fire, which means I can gather 1 explorer, and I need to target a land 1 away from a sacred site. I will target this land and gather this explorer. Next, we go to the invaders. No fear this time. They ravage in the sands. They don't ravage here because there are no invaders, but they do ravage here. They do 3 damage, 5, 6, 7 damage, which is more than enough to add a blight, but the Dahans are protected from Concealing Shadows. After they do damage, the Dahan attack back. They attack with 2 power each, which means we have a total of 6. 3 health for the town, 2 for the city, and 1 for the explorer. The town generates us 2 fear, and the city generates us another fear. We get a fear card, and we reach terror level 2. In order to win, we need to destroy all cities and towns, which we have already done. So this was a victory, an unexpected quick victory. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Although this video was shorter than I had imagined, I hope you enjoyed it anyways. I will be doing more playthroughs of Spirit Island because it's one of my favorite games, and especially playing solo. With that being said, see you in the next one. Bye.